Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game 2 between EHOME and LFY. You are watching the Star Ladder I-League Invitational Season 3. And we are in the Chinese qualifiers. I am Luminous, and I'm going to be joined by Tsunami. And we got our draft, or we got ourselves a draft on the way. Anything looks too fishy, or we're all good for now?
We're all good for now. LFY ban out their own Lich, but, you know, like in general, I'd say that it was more of a draft win in Game 1 than, like, a skill difference or anything like that. So, I'm sure LFY have plenty of tricks up their sleeve that don't involve Lich, or maybe even Necro. Maybe they'll take a trip down memory lane, pick up some Venomancer for old time's sakes, who knows?
Yeah, maybe it's one of those things that LFY feels like, you know, when they had the first pick, they leave Lich in the pool. When they don't have the first pick, they kick him out. And
yeah.
I think Lich overall works really well with a lot of LFY's hero, particularly the Doom and the Necro. Allows them to maybe forgo an early game defensive item because of the Frost armor, and then allows you to itemize a little bit greedier in terms of, let's say, damage output or whatnot. We saw the Necro was able to go for Radiance as a second item last game. I don't want to say largely thanks to the Frost armor, but I'm sure that had a big part of it in there, so good stuff there, but won't be in this game.
Yeah, we'll see if they go to any other mainstays. I know Earth Spirit used to be a favorite of theirs. I haven't really been seeing the hero too much in any region, actually. Don't know why, but yeah, China has always had a soft spot for the hero, maybe. I know they used to do a lot of that AA Sand King combination that I had mentioned. Last time it was, yep, okay, well, EHOME might go for AA then.
Yeah. I think AA not only works so well with Sand King, but also works really well with some of the core picks as well. We've seen teams go for AA Sven as a strong laning combination, and also things like AA plus Faceless Void as a teamfight combination. So I think it's definitely a very strong spot to open up with AA as your first pick. He is a somewhat laning deficiency if you're being ran at, but you know, you could make your draft around it. Here we go. This is kind of like you mentioned, an Earth Spirit.
Alright.
I think Afu is the best Earth Spirit player in China, and he ain't even Chinese, so, you know, there you go.
Wait, he's not?
Yeah, they imported him from Malaysia.
Oh, right, okay, I knew that.
He played in C, I guess before this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Him and Ajit, right?
Yeah. I compared him to, like, he's the second coming of Tron. Like, Tron was the first Malaysian import that, like, shoken up the Dota world. And I think Afu is having that kind of same effect, if not even a bigger effect
The
than
next
Tron.
generation?
Yeah. I mean, it used to be it was just Chuan, right? That's not Chinese. I guess DDC is technically not Chinese, but...
Yeah. Wait, what about Ice Ice Ice? He's Singapore, right?
Yeah, okay. Ice is also another one.
LFY's turn to
Alright, DK here.
I wasn't a fan of the DK in Game 1, but that was because of his build. I thought the pick was fine, and I thought the lane was fine, but then he built too defensively, which was my concern. At least now, in this... I mean, like, AA isn't, like, a high offense hero, but obviously Ice Blast is invaluable. Whenever you have exceptional setup like a Dragon's Tail, you can also get your Cold Feet procs off, and then Chilling Touch is pretty swell in the laning phase. I'm pretty sure it'll be a DK mid again, unless if CTY is like, alright, you had your shot, old chicken, but I'm taking back the mid lane, you can go back to the safe lane.
Yeah. I think the Hood, though, this game might be better. Because you're up against Earth Spirit and Puck, that's a lot of magic damage. So if he does go for Hood first, I think
True.
This game is definitely much more justifiable. Alpha bans out the Darkseer.
You need to have some other damage dealing core. The main problem last time is that they had Mirana who was in a tri-lane as their other core.
Right.
And so you can have one defensive tanky frontliner, but then you need someone who's like putting in damage in the meantime, and
Sure.
Mirana didn't get any farm whatsoever, so yeah, they do ban out the Darkseer. I don't really think it did that much in Game 1, but maybe they've got something in mind that they don't want to have to deal with Wall of Replica or being kited by Surge.
I think when it comes to support, AA is one of the more offensive supports because of Ice Blast and Chilling Touch. So I think there is some sizable damage from him alone. Obviously, to take out the Oracle, often seen as a counter to the Ice Blast, keeps whoever that gets on gone on safe with the False Promise. So far,
I wish Oracle was more relevant hero in general, because you had mentioned, like, right now LFY have a ton of magic damage. Oracle is a great hero in situations like that, because you can just plop Fate's Edict down on someone who gets initiated, and
right.
they're going to be just fine. But the hero itself, it just seems like a really, really specific comp you'll only pick it in.
Yeah, I agree. I think teams have really figured out how to beat Oracle lineups. It used to be where, like, oh my god, you go on the guy, he false promise, and that's the team fight. And then teams like, okay, let's just kill the Oracle first. So, LFY goes for the poor man Oracle. In this scenario, goes for the Dazzle. Because Dazzle...
I've been seeing so many teams just not respect AA Ice Plus. Like, I've been seeing Necros into AAs, I've been seeing Dazzles into AAs. I think one game I saw, like, I don't remember, I think it was an Omni into an AA, which is somewhat more legitimate because of Repel, but still, like, people, whoa, Underlord. Yeah, people just don't really care too much. It used to be like AA is like, well, I can't pick any healers anymore, but now people are just like, whatever. It's just an Ice Blast.
Is this going to be CTY playing Underlord? Because then you fully make a transition from a flashy mid player playing things like Storm, Quap, to an offlaner that plays Underlord. that is just day and night, isn't it?
What if it's mid-core Underlord, max out Atrophy Aura, get an Aghanim Scepter?
No matter what...
Is that the play?
No matter what skill build Underlord goes, there's no way that he's anywhere when it comes to flashiness, right? Like, what
I don't know.
crazy
I
moves...
remember whenever the hero was first released and people were theorizing those Dark Rift BOT plays where you like start channeling Dark Rift back at your fountain, you BOT onto an ally who's in trouble, and then you just suck them out real quick. That's a pretty big play.
Okay. Well, we'll see if CTY is gonna make them plays. Ursa is a crazy great pick here because he's good against DK in a 1v1 mid scenario. He's good against Underlord in a safe lane versus off lane scenario. I think you said that game one was not maybe 100% down to the draft, but I think in this game, LFY is having a huge drafting lead currently.
Yeah, I can agree with that. EHOME are experimenting. Underlord is another hero who I hadn't seen very much like Lion. Although I would say that Underlord is a little bit more stable than Lion, I suppose, because Underlord never really loses the lane. It's just a question about what do you do after the laning phase is over. Are you gonna like go farm with Firestorm? Have you been stacking? Or do you go with your team and start 5-manning? Are you gonna start looking for Pit of Malice pickoffs with all this setup that you have with Dragon's Tail, Cold Feet? I'm curious to see what this Underlord's job is gonna be after the laning phase.
Do you think Underlord is a hero that could output damage? Because that is the conversation we were just having, right? Whether this lineup has enough damage.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You go mid Underlord and you pick up an Aghanim Scepter, which many people probably don't remember what the Aghanim Scepter does anymore because I've never seen it in an actual competitive game. I've run it before, it has failed, but basically, you know how you get a bonus every single time a hero dies underneath Atrophy Aura.
Okay. Well,
Aghanim Scepter turns it into an aura so that every one of your teammates in a 900 AoE gets that bonus damage for themselves as well.
Alright. But heroes has to die, right?
Heroes have to die. That's a big part of the idea. Well, actually, I mean, I think you get it off of the creep deaths also, but the creep death Atrophy Aura isn't that much, but yeah, I mean, again, I am seeing issues with how EHOME are going to deal damage, especially into an Ursa, because a lot of their stuff can be... X, you can't be purged, but Pit of Malice can be purged, the Cold Feet debuff can be purged, and then if Ursa does go for an Aghanim Scepter, then he can purge off things like Dragon's Tail or the Boat Stun as well. So Ursa is going to be very, very difficult for this entire team to deal with on EHOME.
I'm also not a big fan of the Kunkka pick coming out from EHOME. I think Kunkka as a hero really lacks damage until you hit level 6, which might be 10-12 minutes into the game by then. Also, I think the whole X marks a spot initiation won't be too effective against heroes like Puck in particular. Ursa could just rage out of, or just use rage to tank bolt if he needs to. So I find this pick extremely curious as a 4th position pick. There's some really good
Yeah,
ones.
especially because Sand King wasn't even banned, and I would have
Yeah.
thought that Sand King would have been their go-to.
Or if you want some more catch, like Ricky,
10
Smoke Cloud
seconds
is
remaining.
available tool that's decent against heroes like Puck and whatnot. So
5
Yeah,
seconds
that's
I,
true.
I don't know. I don't know about this Kunkka pick.
Yeah, because right now all of LFY, like, their heroes are so... Like, Ursa can frontline, and then everyone can just stand behind Ursa. Earth Spirit can wait for the proper initiation, Puck can wait for the proper initiation, Dazzle can just sit back and grave at his, you know, convenience, and no one on EHOME can really get to the backlines. Unless, no, CK can't really do it either.
Oh, he has a spell that helps getting to the back line, so...
Yeah, he has a spell that helps get into the middle line, and... It's a hero that does well against Ursa, but then LFY promptly are like, that's okay, you can do fine against Ursa, but you're not going to do fine against Sven and Ursa.
Well, this is a best of 3 series, so if EHOME wins this one, they have 1 more to go. We are in the upper bracket of things, so even if EHOME loses this game, they are not out of the running just yet. LFY, though, I think we're both comfortable to say that the draft is on their side. I think especially with the last pick, Sven. Just very, very tanky hero. Gives them so much armor to combat against the CTY CK. Man, a ton of these heroes have so much armor that I could like barely recognize. Like, this Dragonite. This. Are we in an era in 2017? There's like too many hats. Look at poor Ancient Apparition. Like everybody's got a ton of hats. This guy's like doesn't even have a stomach.
Swag the hell out.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have his immortal. Everyone has, CK has a golden one,
Feels
Kunkka
bad,
has
man.
that compendium one, and he's just like with his low pixel ass hands.
He does have an immortal, but he does not have it equipped, so
Right.
feels bad, man. Oh, what can you do?
At least I would say that the lanes on EHOME look a little bit stronger than the lanes on LFY. At least in terms of aggression, because Underlord is like, he can be played defensively, or he's pretty good offensively as well. Kunkka with X makes life very stressful for a lot of heroes, including Puck. Puck is great against it as the game moves later, but like, if you toss out an illusory orb to farm, and then all of a sudden you get X'd, all your survivability just goes down infinitely, so...
Right.
The laning phase is a little bit stronger from EHOME, but it was pretty good in Game 1 also. They were running that tri-lane, and LFY did not care, so it's going to take more than just good lanes for EHOME to get a win out.
Yeah, I did say that CTY is playing the off lane. Obviously, made a mistake there. Faith BN is going to be handling the Underlord instead, and he is going to be playing the 1 position Chaos Knight. No tangles being pulled to him. Just is he actually playing mid? It looks like he's starting with the mid build instead. Poor man shield,
Guess
downward
they
branches.
could dual mid with AA?
Yeah, I think that is going to be the plan. You can see that old chicken, he has what looks to be a carry build. Normally you finish the 4-man shield in the lane. And that might be the best way to set up against Ursa. I think Ursa is still advantage in this scenario because he is going to get help from Earth Spirit. But
But why Ursa over Puck? Oh wait, now Ursa is walking to the offline. And now Puck is walking to the mid lane.
yeah, I think both teams are doing a little bit of switcheroo, dodging, and whatnot. I think EHOME wants to put the
because
CK...
Radiant has this ward, yeah, so they saw
Yeah.
this. I think that EHOME's okay with this.
Are they? I'm not sure. They're going to make a go here on
We'll see.
Innocence.
If they get first blood, then they're not okay with it. Okay. They're still okay with it.
I mean, a big part of the CKAA lane is the fact that you could get kills, even against heroes like Ursa. But I don't think you could kill the Puck here. Unless
You can't, but Puck can't go aggressive on CK, so CK's gonna
No,
farm pretty
well,
much
he's
like
gonna go
Iron did.
aggressively on Innocence. Right, all you need is a roll to hit on the AA, which I'm sure
Yeah,
Afu's looking for.
but I mean, you're still in a difficult scenario then, because if you put out the orb
I mean,
inwards as
we're
now-
seeing it right now. I see no problem as they go for him.
Oh! Yes, that attack.
Perfectly calculated.
I'd say it goes back and forth. Like, at level 1, obviously AA is pretty garbage, and CK went for his Chaos Bolt at level 1, as opposed to the crit, which, I mean, like, CK is a very, very flexible skill build. In fact, these days, more often than not, you'll see Max Rift, and then Max Strike, and then Bolt is maxed out last. But yeah, it's a flexible lane, and AA does not want to have to deal with this anymore. Earth Spirit has left the mid lane, so it's just going to be a 1v1 mid.
Yeah. And feels bad, man, on the top side. Dragon Knight takes a stun at level 1, but the stun, though, will hopefully convert into a kill. Meanwhile, simultaneously, looks like Faith BN did drop. Unfortunately, the lack of damage on the top lane, they're going to try to make another go at Super. Super pops himself the Fairy Fire, pops a salve, and we'll be okay.
Shout out to 7 armor and a poor man's shield. That, or most heroes would not be able to survive that, but when you've got 7 armor at level 3, you can pretty much survive anything. Oh, well, aside from magic damage, but that top lane does not have very much magic damage right now.
Yeah, Kofi, Torrent, not exactly the strongest nukes at level 1.
Yeah, and then as you said in the bot lane, meanwhile, Afu and Sven pick up a kill on Faith Beyond's Underlord. I don't really know how aggressive Faith Beyond can afford to play in this lane. It's a dazzle, so you're not really it's not really in your best interest to play aggressive at all, because any damage you put into Sven is just going to be wiped off with a few heals. But Faith Beyond's getting experience. He's at level 3, so it's not that bad.
Yep. He also has 2 salves, not something you see too frequently as a starting item.
Yeah.
All he needs to do is be careful that he's not standing next to a bunch of creeps where the heal bomb could get him pretty good, and he should be fine.
Mid lane, CK is fine. Yeah, LFY have these like very defensive heroes. Like Sven and Dazzle, there's no way you can go on that mid lane roll. It does not connect, but the stun does.
Well, they're gonna right click him down pretty hard here. Poor man should do a little bit of work. Does have 4 sticks. Pop it here.
Oh, yep.
Wow! Do you see how he activated his stick?
I saw that. And
Yeah.
then do you see how Puck pressed E? And do you see how we missed that kill also?
I mean, you missed it.
I didn't miss nothing.
I missed it.
Another orb? Not gonna do anything. Yeah, Ursa finally meets his maker. He's been getting away with murder for the most part, and it's not really that big of a deal if Super goes down. He's hit level 4 in the soft lane. This tri-lane like Kunkka and AA have not done much. They've just been pretty much sticking here as now mid lane again. Roll, connects.
CK's a
2 seconds
tanky
down.
mother effer. They're gonna drag him back in. Afu, a little bit of confused. He is gonna go down to the tower shot. Now Inflame does have the orb out, so he's gonna trade a couple of hits. Will orb to the rune. What a lucky mofo. Picks up the DD.
Shrine is down though, unfortunately, but just for 30 more seconds, so he might just farm the jungle. Or go back to the lane, or have Earth Spirit fill his bottle back up.
Perfect.
So it's all good.
Even drop all of his stats items before filling back up, so he's fine. And now, the CK thinks he's good, but now we'll have to run to the shrine and heal back up.
Yes, as I was saying, LFY have these like really good hybrid defensive and offensive lanes, because Dazzle and Sven, they can't die, but they can also go very, very aggressive whenever the moment appears. Mid lane, Puck, same thing. You can play defensive with Illusory Orb and Phase Shift, or you can use it to go aggressive. And same thing with the offlane. Ursa is a hero that is very tanky, but if you get a setup from something like an Earth Spirit, then all of a sudden, with Fury Swipes, you can go really aggressive. And he's actually maxing out Earth Shock, as opposed to putting any points in Fury Swipes, which I think is the right call against a tri-lane like this. You saw how the move speed slow kept him alive in that first gank attempt.
Yeah, I think in a 1v1 scenario, you'll be able to get off, that overcharge hit. But I think in a 1v3, you need that Earth Shark to defend yourself. And he still can be effective as a harassing hero. Kunkka moves forward, will pop an X on the Puck. Well, nice juke. They juke him back into it. Nice fake out here by HYM. I don't think Puck will die though. They stun him through. The damage is going to be there. And now Afu will row and get a couple more right clicks.
The power of RNG. I think if they got a 2-second stun, he may have actually gone down, but it was just a 1 second on the Puck, so he survives.
Regen rune. Is it going to get rolled on by Afu? Oh, it's going to be close. Who's going to take the regen? The regen goes to HYM. Gets immediately cancelled. The X-Torrent will hit. And now HYM does not have a shrine to go back to here. Faith BN going for a little bit of body block. Afu has... No, actually, they got Coil, but Faith BN's a tanky
Dire's
mofo.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, there's not enough damage. CK was going to attempt to help out, but then Puck went onto the Dire's high ground to zone out the CK, and he was like, alright, you guys can deal with
Dire's
that.
middle tower is under attack.
Rift is so irritating to have to deal with. It feels like Ursa almost, like you get a few... Oh, meanwhile, speaking of which, top lane.
He is gonna get
Procs,
stunned up.
but- Yeah, he's underneath his tower. And when he's underneath his tower, he has 8 armor. And Dazzle TP'd in as well, so there is so little that you can do against this Ursa.
Uh-oh.
Mid lane.
Long stun into a big crit, but Coil now gets dropped in the other direction here. CTY does have a level 1 charge. He's going to be absolutely fine. His infused range drop charges are being wore
Top
down
lane.
fast. Top making another go here, but they have the Grave. X. Do they have a torrent? Nope, just X into a fire breathe. Alright. Flashy.
Yeah, it's a tough situation for a Dazzle to be in. You don't really know when to use your Grave. Ursa used the Enrage, and so a lot of the damage was absorbed underneath that Grave, which is not really how you want to spend it. But, yeah, Ursa finally goes down, and Monet kind of getting hassled by Faith Beyond in this offline.
Yeah.
Underlord is, like, he's holding his own here. I'm impressed.
Yeah, he has the 1 death, but ever since he's got some decent amount of regen item in the form of Soul Ring, Soul Ring just like spams fire on top of Sven. There's not much Sven could do about it. Straight up denying against the Sven as well. And look at that Sven, he's gonna have to go home.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hastrun picked up by Puck, racing up to the top lane. Ghost
Coil in
Dream
3.
Coil's gonna be up. Let's see if he uses it.
I think you go for the AA here. Should be a very easy kill. Don't even need that Coil. And then Flame will take him down.
But an orb goes back to the top
Still has a
lane,
coil.
though.
And now they're going to go right on O Chicken. O Chicken taking a ton of that damage. And now Ursa, super angry, bring around the Rosie. O Chicken trying to survive. And he might survive. No, he will not. The orb's going to fish him down. Super under the tower. They're going to try to burn him down. Nice stuns here coming out here from Afu. They bring him back in. Super should go down here. Will finally go down to Innocence. But still a great trade here as EHOME loses out on a couple of heroes. And LFY forcing even more teleports.
Yeah, it's a shame that Faith Beyond didn't have mana to do anything. Like, he had enough mana for a TP, but not enough mana for a TP and a Firestorm. Otherwise, Firestorm plus Pit of Malice would have been deadly in that situation, but not enough for a rotation. And he hasn't put any points in Dark Rift either, so
Yep.
no Underlord meant that it was not as good of an exchange as it could have been, but still pretty good.
I don't think you generally put points into your ult till I think level 8, 9, or even 10.
Yeah, pretty much. Once Firestorm is maxed, then you can think about it.
Yep. Well, they're gonna try to set up again here against Faith BN. I think he might want his ultimate now. Here comes the stun. Ursa's in the fight here as well. Ursa, can he get into position? Now Faith BN goes to the right side. I don't think he'll make it out of here as DDC completes the kill.
Sven has just been spamming his ultimate. He's just using it to farm and push, and that's it. It's in fact, I've been seeing a lot of similar stuff from CKs. I've seen a lot of CKs who just use Phantasm and then just go farm a jungle or something. And back in the day, that was like sacrilege. You don't want to spend a 130-second cooldown on that. But as a CK, more often than not, team fights early on aren't decided by your Phantasm. 1 extra illusion, 2 extra illusions aren't going to make that big of a difference because your hero's not that tanky in like the first 15 minutes of the game, so might as well use it to farm.
Yeah. Speaking of farm, Sven doesn't really have any stacks available to him. I don't think his supports had the time to hit up the Ancient just yet.
Yeah, Super's been drawing too much attention for Dazzle, and same thing with Earth Spirit on the mid lane, so Sven's been left to his own devices, but
He's doing great,
when
though.
you have an Ursa to combine with, it's not that dependent that you like start farming out of control.
Yeah.
You've got 2 cores.
I mean, you can make the argument that Puck is also a fine core, especially when he's this farm. And now Puck going to top lane, revealing that... Oh, nothing. I thought he blinked in. He just orbed in. Now they coil him up. Phantasm dodging that silence, but I think he might still be dead. No, he's going to turn around against Afu. 1 charges already expended, and Afu just going to club him down. Good try here by...
Crit set.
Yeah, good try by CTY.
12%?
Not
If-
17%.
No, not 17. He needs that extra 5. It makes all the difference.
Mid lane X, Torn to start things off. Rage will pop off some of that stun, but Chain Stun's gonna be there. He's not taking any damage. They have Grave still available. Grave a little bit early, and I think he might die as a result to a Fire Breathe. There you go.
Yeah.
Second X coming back through, and they'll probably X him back. No, actually he
Whoa.
comes back in, but now here comes CTY. They got a stun on him. Inflame overstaying his welcome. Inflame also goes down. EHOME showing some signs of life right now.
That jaunt was pretty ballsy. Yeah, he almost killed the DK, but there's no way that a Puck gets out of that alive. At least not before you get a Blink Dagger. So Puck basically was saying that I'm either going to kill this DK or die trying, and he just died trying.
Maybe he
And Sven
thought.
just has not wanted to show up to anything.
Maybe he thought that
Maybe
the
he
X, the X was still on him, so he would have been able to go in,
Oh.
get the quick kill, and gets X'd back. But
Okay.
whatever the case is, definitely gave away a lot of his lead.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
and he gave it to a CK as well, so not one of the best targets.
Radiant structures.
And against all odds, it looks like Underlord's actually going to take the first tier 1 tower before
Yeah.
Sven does.
Radiant's bottom
Alright.
tower has fallen.
Doing pretty well. Gonna go for the standard mech, Greaves, Pipe, Crimson, whatever defensive item his team needs. Now HYM in a good position to scout things out, but he is standing right under a ward, and you're gonna go right on top of him. Oh, that is a dead Kunkka. He's gonna drop his bolt. Ice Blast's gonna fly in as
Dude,
well.
this pit!
Alright. Faith BN's gonna pour it out. Is he gonna make it home is the question? No! Ursa makes short work of that Uber taxi, and HYM, surprisingly, is the one that's gonna survive.
Radiant's top tower is under
That pit
attack.
was so clutch. I can't believe Akunka was just able to sprint out of that. He had the rum buff as well, which helped quite a bit, but yeah, just 2 points in pit, and it's shut down like all 5 heroes of LFY.
I think things are about to get very scary for EHOME. Because, hold that thought here. Phantasm, I hear it being used.
Yeah,
Didn't-
top lane. He doesn't get lucky with the RNG. He had an arcane
Yeah,
rune,
yeah,
and
so
so
he's
he was just like, might as well just use it. But he doesn't get lucky with the RNG, does not get the bonus illusion, but he's gonna use it to farm, and that's the thing you do now.
Alright.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Row coming through for O-Chicken, kick him right back into the tower, and Ice Blast is probably going to clean things up against Afu. Afu drops his ultimate before dying. Nice amount of disable here, and now Ursa gets actually Reality Rifted back in. He does have the Great for him. He will try to take down O-Chicken. O-Chicken lobs out a stun, and now Super in a lot of trouble. Rift again. He's going to go down to the Fire Breathe. And right now, EHOME is out teamfighting LFY. I think LFY really should just look at the goal that they have right now and be like, okay, we have triple Blink Dagger coming up. Why don't we just wait? I think by fighting right now when they aren't at their strongest is giving EHOME a lot of leeway.
Yeah,
Puck is
right
so
now,
close to his.
Under attack.
Puck and Sven. Sven
yeah.
is about to finish off his Blink Dagger right after, yeah, so he finishes off, and now Monet is finally comfortable showing up to fight, because for the most part, Monet has just been staying as far off the map as possible. And in a 1v1 situation against an Underlord, you don't really expect Sven to get a massive head start to begin with. So 15 minutes in, EHOME has claimed as much as they can, but it's not really that dramatic of an advantage. They've only have 1k net worth and just 1 kill on top of LFY, so
Mid lane, they're
we'll see if
Sorry.
we'll see if LFY want to match that pace now that they've got some Blink Daggers up and running.
Yeah, I thought Sven was gonna reveal that blink to go on the Underlord, but this farms under the creep wave. I think the Firestorm might have canceled his blink. I see an Ice Blast coming back in on the bottom side.
Oh yeah,
Can they get that kill?
this is not. This is tricky. Oh, what?
Alright.
I mean, he was trying to bait out like a phase shift, but I don't even think that Puck was like, "Oh, you're rifting me."
I think he was hoping that he would use the orbs to farm. Alright. Phantasm. Didn't get the lucky roll. The kick will hit, and now here comes that Sven. 4-on-1 action here. LFY gets the quick kill.
EHOME want to return the favor, but these heroes are too slow. They don't have any blink daggers of their own on EHOME, and now HYM goes face first.
Okay, he's fine. He's got the boat. Yeah, Ice Blast's gonna come back in. They got the X on Monet. He's gonna be sitting right on top of Firestorm and a Torrent. Oh man, Monet is gonna get frozen here as well. He's gonna be going down on the right side. HYM trying to pour it out, gets X back in. You know, I doubted this Kunkka pick, but Kunkka, best tank NA, walks in, soaks up like 8 spells, survives it, and cleans up the fight by using multiple X's. What a player.
This guy is so quick on the fingers for his boat. If he doesn't get that run buff, he's dead every time.
Yeah.
But he's like, there was not much time to prepare for that, but he got it off. Faith Beyond yet again with another Pit of Malice, kept everyone still, and that provides so much setup for the Ice Blast and the Cold Feet. And, I mean, the Ice Vortex as well. A lot of people ignore the increased magic damage that comes with that, but it's like a mini Veil of Discord. When you've got everyone clumped up in a tiny AoE like what you get with Pit of Malice, then it's a lot of bonus damage with a Firestorm.
Yeah. I talked about Warcry being a big part of Sven normally, but it feels like this game Warcry has had little to no effect. Predominantly thanks to the magic damage that you were mentioning. Good ward here
and
from
the fact that CK is always dead.
EHOME, but it will get scoped out and be warded very quickly. X though will find himself one more. Warcry is going to get activated. But look at his HP. Ice Blast looks like it's not going to hit right on top, but he's going to just be dead regardless. As soon as that Grave End, he is gone. They're going to try to take down HYM. HYM might actually die here. Yes, he will. Torrent lifts up the Ursa. Do they have enough to take him down? They do have a Pit of Malice in a couple of seconds. No, they have a Dragon Tail into a pit. No, into a Reality Rift. They take one more. Fabian looking for another. Will not claim it. And EHOME is just running a truck all over LFY. Alright.
Yeah, you got this Blink Dagger from Sven, but you almost kind of wish that he went for something like a BKB instead, because all this magic damage, all this disable, Sven is only thing he's able to do is activate Warcry, which is completely useless against the type of damage that EHOME are dealing out. So, oh, X onto Puck.
No.
Oh, he got it.
Oh.
Oh, he got it.
Where did he go?
Where? How did he not saw me?
Yeah, too fast. I think EHOME are winning these fights largely due to the fact that they have a mech finish, a very early mech in fact. And if you look at the way that LFY deal damage, it's mostly in bursts, right? Just the Puck stuff, a couple of Sven hit, a couple of Ursa hits. And once the mech gets activated, I think LFY suddenly don't have enough to finish the job, especially under the Bolt Run. So...
Oh, top lane. They see Faith Beyond.
Nice silence into a kick. Super comes in looking for the kill. The mech's gonna be there. Nice Pit of Malice. He runs away from the Ursa. The Ice Blast's gonna come in. Faith Beyond will die, or will he?
Oh my God.
Yes, he will, but they are gonna get another. Maybe one more here. Afu's gonna get slowed down. He rolls himself out. But still, the great trade taking down the Ursa for a very, very tanky Underlord.
Yeah, this Underlord's crazy. I do hope that... Well, he's going for a Yule's. You had suggested maybe like the other auras, the Crimson Guard maybe, stuff like that. I guess the Yule's is... I don't know, maybe something for Shallow Grave? Nope. Sven.
Oh no!
I don't know if that was I think that may have been intentional. I think he wanted to get closer to get in range to Bolt.
For a stun? Maybe.
Yeah, because the Rift range is much longer than Bolt range.
Whatever the case is, with the Blink Dagger, that was a very low percentage gank.
Yeah. So this game, DK did go for the armlet, did not have to worry about a Necro, so that's one thing. And he has the AA on his team, so that's another thing. So this DK definitely is poised to deal a lot more damage, and he's got a few stacks of his own as well. Well, actually just one ancient stack. If he wants to take it, no. Even though he has Dragon Form? Alright. Well, don't mind me, just go ahead, do your own thing. CK is waiting invis in the mid lane for a gank, so maybe that's what he wants to show up for.
Huh, I do wonder what the Yules is really for the Underlord.
Oh yeah, so I'd said that maybe it's for Shallow Grave, maybe it's for purging off the silence from Earth Spirit, and maybe it's just like, you know, generic survivability item because, you know, you can just make sure that Ursa can't get a whole bunch of Fury swipes on you and other stuff.
Yeah, I think it's more of just a good over item as opposed to just a very necessary item. Pit of Malice, rooting him up. Torrent's gonna be there. They have the X as well. And the Puck goes down.
How did CK get the jump on Puck?
He was invis, I believe.
Oh, right.
The rune guy.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That would have been a lot of distance because he was invis in the mid lane, so he walked all the way bot.
He has a bottom.
No, but he was already invis
I
in the
see.
mid lane. Or whatever. Dark Rift on the mid lane.
Well, here comes Fate Beyond comes in, and now the fight goes the other direction. Ursa needs to run from a Dragon Knight. They are going to get the 1 kill. Ice Blast now flying up top. Because they used the Uber Taxi, he can still teleport right back in. Uh-oh. He turns around, fights this, but CTY is going to be fine. In fact, he has the armor toggle if he wants to use it. Bolt now comes in and hits on Monet. Monet is going to get chain stun as well. This is also Stun City. DDC will grave his carry, and hopefully this carry will do something, but he's going to go down to the poison ticks. On the left side, trying to pour it out, but DDC is also going to get melted. EHOME all over this map right now.
Yeah, and Underlord didn't even get to, I don't know what happened, but he didn't complete his TP.
I think he got
and so that
cancelled.
was all with that. Oh, he got what?
Cancelled by, I think, the Earth Spirit.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever the case, still EHOME managed to confidently take down the Sven and the Dazzle and the Ursa in the top lane without the help of Underlord. Well, actually, Ursa was dead in the mid lane because of the Dark Rift. But yeah, right now EHOME they're dealing damage, and that was what they weren't doing in game 1.
Right.
So imagine that.
You know, I'm trying to figure out why exactly EHOME has suddenly became so strong. And because you gotta scroll back this game, you know, maybe let's say 15 minutes. It was LFY winning essentially all 3 lanes, right? They were winning mid. Puck, to me, was, with the help of Earth Spirit, killing the AA. He was killing the CK. Ursa might have had a tough time, but he was handling Hizzle. And of course, Sven was the lead farmer, doing quite well against the Underlord. But I think it was really the combination of the mech and the rum from the bolt. And all of a sudden, it just feels like LFY don't have any damage, or at least insufficient damage.
As now, Puck's gonna get out just fine. Yeah, it definitely does feel like that, and it's maybe partly due to the fact as well because you don't really see mechanisms in general that frequently.
Or at least not this early.
Not this early. Like, Enigma is like one of the only heroes that'll still pick up a mech on a common basis. And he, like, sometimes you'll see it as a Greaves item 1, but, like, it still takes a while before Enigma's like, alright, I'm tanky enough that I can stay in fights and actually make use of this mech. I'm not just gonna use it to push, I'm gonna use it to fight.
Well, lots of burst damage on the mid lane. They are gonna get the kill. No, he armed the toggle, survives a little bit longer. He's gonna try to pour back home. I think he's gonna die to
the snap?
Yeah, he is gonna die to the snap. Dies in the fountain, and now nice 2-man kick, nice 3-man silence. Afu's just making things happen, but does he have enough? X-Torn ball in the backline now. Super goes right back in. Good defensive force out here. Monet activating the BKB man mode. Not gonna get the kill. Nice Glimmer Cape. Despite of all of that, it's only a 2 kill, but they did get the 2 cores. So LFY flexing the muscle, showing off that fresh 10-second BKB on Monet and making all the difference.
Yeah, that BKB is going to make a difference moving forward as well, because a lot of the damage that we keep talking about, like we said, is all magic. Yes, physical damage is starting to come online for EHOME with the CK, but the CK is, like, persistently out of position, and he keeps getting caught out first, and his team used to be able to save him. Oh, HYM maybe gets an X now.
Well, Roche is being approached very rapidly, but Fate Beyond comes in. He's going to get stunned up. He is already X'd up, so he drops off the Firestorm. Roshan, though, is going to get claimed by Ursa.
They're still moving in.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to burn that. Yeah, they will burn the Aegis. And are they going to try to kill him a second time? Torn, bow, everything on that Ursa. Ursa does not have his ultimate, so yeah, that Grave is doing absolutely nothing. He will just die to the fire. Or the sword. Good recognition by EHOME, notifying that all of the big ults are on cooldown during that Roche fight, so.
I guess the biggest thing is that Sven's BKB was still on cooldown, because otherwise I would think that LFY is probably in a good position to take the fight. I believe Magnetize was up, Dream Coil was definitely up. I'm not 100% sure if God's Strength was up, but it was up definitely towards the end of the fight. But if Monet doesn't have that BKB, it was probably going to go the same way that we've been seeing the first 20 minutes of the game go.
Yeah.
It's that item that allows Sven to fight inside of EHOME without being concerned at all. So, yeah, they go for the Aegis, they promptly lose it, and then they lose the Ursa again. So not the best exchange for LFY, but at least now they don't need to worry about EHOME potentially taking the Aegis.
I think the critical component is that both the Kunkka and the Underlord was in the team fight during that Roche fight as well. Because I think previously when the CK got gone on, they weren't really in position to mech or bolt for him, so he kind of just died in the beginning.
Shrine, Underlord, kind of dead. And no BKB needing to be spent. Monet still has a haste rune.
Warren, good try here, but Monet picks up a double. Well, this is definitely more of a game that EHOME is having. But right now, currently, LFY in a slight lead. And I think they are in an even bigger lead if you just look at the items. Because when BKB Sven gets activated, there is really no answer, right, from EHOME.
Nope. And there won't be an answer moving forward. None of these heroes can really do anything. CK maybe occasionally builds a Basher, but not until much later into Abyssal.
Yep.
And so that's not really the best idea. And DK also does not really build BKB piercing stuff, so a lot of the slow from the Frost Dragon will go through, but that's the only thing. How do you feel about this Diffusal Blade on Ursa, though? I've been seeing this a lot recently, and I like it in some situations, but in this game I don't really think like there's anything worth purging, and that's usually the only context in which I think Diffusal's good.
There is the Yules on the Underlord that you can purge.
True. True.
But it's more, I think normally, I agree with your statement. I think normally it's for things like, I'm watching this.
Phase shifted. Yeah.
Normally it's for things like Ghost Scepters from supports. Or like really
Right.
annoying heroes like Necrofalls, but this game, I mean, if you think about it, it's still a good damage item because of how quickly you attack. So there's that, but it's interesting that he's going for that instead of something like a BKB, which
Exactly.
I feel like he needs more of.
Or an Aghanim Scepter, either of those, because at a certain point Sven's BKB is going to whittle down to 5 seconds,
Right.
and then you need someone else to be able to be the focus of damage, otherwise the EHOME comp will just time out Sven's BKB, keep kiting around the Ursa, which maybe Diffusal Blade can help with the kiting, but still, it's the spell immunity against stuns that's critical.
Yeah. Blink, Dragon Tail.
Top lane, stun.
Absolutely no follow-up. Oh, the long range Pit of Malice, but he still goes right back out. Ice Blast. I think he has phase.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, I think
And
that
he's
was...
got Blink right after.
Ooh, the kick's gonna come right back through here as Afu applying that Magnetize absolutely everywhere. On the left side, it's gonna be Inflamed, jumping back out, controlling Fate BN as well. This team fight is all over the place here. Afu is gonna take down the other support. Ursa joins in for that. Now the courier flies on the left side here. Monet microing the courier back out. They will finally get the Underlord. Still has a mech available to him. Will not be able to use it. That was kind of a clown fiesta there, but EHOME loses 3 heroes. And
they
LFY,
might need to start worrying about high ground. None of these heroes have buyback, and Underlord is a great high ground defense hero, but he's dead for 40 seconds. Sven's not going to have God Strength, but he still has his BKB. He didn't use it a single time.
Chaos Knight has his BKB as well, though.
True, but I'm surprised that they're backing off.
I'm surprised as well. I think they're somewhat afraid of, like, a lucky roll on Phantasm, and here comes the CK with BKB, just shred your whole team.
Yeah, I
'Cause
guess.
we were
And Sven
saying-
didn't have God Strength.
We're saying that LFY doesn't really have, or EHOME doesn't have good answer to the BKB Sven. I'm not sure whether there's a good answer to the BKB CK as well, right?
The idea is that Sven just chops through all of it. So
Sure.
you don't really need to build anything that like keeps CK in place, because CK is the one that needs to come to you to fight. Sven
I
will
guess so.
hit on towers, or if you don't come to him, so we'll see. I don't think Monet needs to build anything more defensive. Yeah, he's going for a Daedalus. Who the hell builds Daedalus anymore?
True gamers.
True gamers.
Yeah. I think Daedalus is a good choice here because relying things on like a Bloodthorn, you could have teammates easily dispel it. And for Sven, if your only job or if your primary job is to kill the CK illusions, right? The active of Bloodthorn isn't going to be as effective as just bigger red numbers,
Exactly.
which I think is the right choice here. By the way,
And he's not going to have to go for an MKB yet because only DK built up at Halberd, which is going to be irritating for Sven moving forward in terms of the disarm, but CK does not have any evasion yet, so he doesn't need to go for an MKB, so he can go for that damage.
I was going to mention that once Chaos Knight hits level 25, he does have the option to go for the talent that pierces BKB, the Reality Rift, which I think I think it's actually a very strong selection in the late game. If you just need to control a BKB core, which I think Sven or Ursa might be, up on that list. And suddenly, if you could surround the CK and just kill him one go, surround the Sven and kill him one go, that's pretty good start in a team fight.
Yeah, for sure.
Dire's bottom tower has been denied.
And Ursa currently does have an Ogre Club. Most likely, I would hope, is turning that into a BKB. He could turn it into an Aghanim Scepter like I had mentioned, or he could turn it into a Halberd, but I don't really think Halberd is that necessary this game for Radiant.
Link stun.
Initiation.
Oh my god, the red number is gonna be there! This is why you go for Daedalus. Magnetize is gonna be applied on the 2 support. Great coil. Oh my god! The deeps are there. Great force staff outward to get that coil snap. And
Dude, I don't give a shit about the Daedalus. That's why you give Afu Earth Spirit.
Yeah, okay, well... Okay,
He
not gonna
hit
lie.
a 4.
Yeah.
He was bowling. He got a freaking strike right down the lane because DK jumped in as soon as that CK got stunned. And he was like, "All right, it's okay. I'm just gonna Dragon's Tail," but immediately got a face full of an Earth Spirit Stone Remnant, and everyone went back like, "Wow, I can't believe this game just ended."
Yeah, this game just ended right here. Like, okay, Afu might be bowling, but Monet was the guy that gave him the shoes, right? Like.
Right.
That actually makes no sense.
Waxed up that ball for him.
There you go. Alright. Before this team fight, the game was extremely even. And now it ain't. A very good display of LFY understanding what their timing was. And how that timing peaks. That Daedalus pickup, and of course, great play from Afu like you mentioned, but all that deep. Oh my god, CK's porting back in. Just kidding.
Yeah, but he thinks wiser of it. That was like an instant 5k net worth shift just off of one team fight. Wow.
Well, what does he need to do now?
They can go for this Roche. We don't know when it'll be up, but it may be up soon. And CK is going for the right thing in my opinion. He's going for evasion. It's going to be the Halberd as opposed to the Butterfly. Makes sense. I mean, sometimes I prefer Butterfly on CK, but in this game I guess the disarm is more valuable if you can put it on the Sven. And I know that, CK is a strength hero, but still oftentimes the attack speed from Butterfly is just too good to pass up on.
Well, especially when you have delusions too. That could, hold the evasion and be tanky and stuff like that.
Right. And so that will help, but since Monet just got like a massive influx of gold, he's actually not going for an MKB still. He's seen DK's Halberd, but he does not care. Instead, he's going to be going for an AC, which I'm not 100% sure if I agree with that, because, I mean, he doesn't have trouble killing people.
Innocence, some next level warding, sees everybody. Here comes the Dragon, I stuns Ursa of all people, and now they're going to throw all this AoE on the backline, though. It's going to be Puck jumping in, kind of annoying the rest of the team. BKB nice dodging against Monet's stun. Monet just runs through the whole team fight, goes for the backline support. I'm not sure whether he can actually get to the backline. And now it's going to be CK the show, not doing nearly enough damage to do actually anything.
The show was cancelled.
The show was cancelled very aptly. And now it's going to be, well, CK versus Sven, but Sven is going to outright click him with the bigger red numbers. The GG is going to be called. LFY does end the series in a 2-0 fashion, but for a majority,
series finale, if you will.
Yeah, for a majority of this game, I thought EHOME played really well, like at par with LFY. But LFY just clutched it out at the end.
Yeah, and their draft was much better this game as well on EHOME, because that was a big part of the reason why they were in the game for so long. Like, skill-wise, again, it looked relatively even up until that team fight, because that just cracked open everything, and there was really nothing that EHOME could have done better. It was just patience from LFY for the most part.
Are you surprised by the lack of Solar Crest? Let's see, from Kukunka or even from innocence.
Yeah, and DDC as well. He was going for it. He finished off the medallion, and it's usually Dazzles are like the last remaining hero that really goes for Solar Crest. But I think it's a good item still. A lot of people stopped considering it after that mischance change, but I think it's still a good item, and especially against a Sven who is so heavily reliant on armor. Because early on in the game, we saw magic damage was the thing that was dealing with Sven, but later on, armor becomes relevant when magic damage is not useful anymore, but they didn't go for it. I don't think it would have made a difference, but yeah.
I mean, Sven might have missed a couple of times. Who knows? That
True,
could be all the
maybe.
difference.
And
So-
that's the difference between like 2,800 damage coming out from these 1,400 crits and Echo Sabers, but... Or actually, he didn't have an Echo Saber, but yeah, it was a good showing from LFY, and EHOME definitely did not look free in Game 2. They looked kind of free in Game 1, but they were definitely relevant throughout Game 2.
Well, coming up next, and when I say next, that is going to happen in how many hours? In about
What? Hours?
In about 45 minutes. We got CDEC versus Invictus Gaming, and Invictus Gaming that doesn't have Burning on the roster anymore. They have a new guy called Gaze of Death. It's really just End, trying to be cool, you know, that hipster 15-year-old ID tag.
Edgy. XX Sephiroth Lord XX.
Yeah. Of course, the rest of IG is still the same: OP, XSS, Bopuka, and Q, but Burning not there anymore. They're going to be taking on against CDEC, so your Shade, your September, the same old squad, and they're going to be duking out in a best of 3. But for now, we're going to take about a 45-minute break. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast. You can check out my co-caster at Tsunami643, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Ciao.